لبيك لبيك لا شريك.
National HAJJ Commission has made the necessary for your comfort.
The preparation is very good.
I'm very happy, extremely happy, because this is my first time.
And I prepare to follow the rules and regulations given to me.
اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك له. لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Ramadan Mubarak. This is As You Answer the Call. I am Rashida Abubakar, welcoming you to another edition of the program. Nice to be with you once again. Preparatory to the 2023 Hajj, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, is making necessary arrangements to ensure that the national medical team is constituted and well equipped to discharge its duties during the forthcoming Hajj. For a start, NAHCON inaugurated the medical screening committee and also inspected facilities where clinics will be sited in Saudi Arabia. And so, tonight in the Spotlight segment, we shall take a look at how the national medical team is coming up ahead of the commencement of the 2023 Hajj exercise. Also in the program is Making the Hajj, and the discussion tonight is on Sa'i, or the walk between Safa and Marwa, which is one of the pillars of Hajj and Umrah. Still on the program, we have our regular segments such as NAHCON News Diary, as well as the quiz segment. Stay with us.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. As usual, we begin the program with the News Diary. Topping the lineup, NAHCON leads critical stakeholders on a pre-Hajj visit to Saudi Arabia. Keep watching.
Ahead of the 2023 Hajj, officials of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, and State Pilgrims Welfare Boards are in Saudi Arabia for the final push to secure pilgrims' accommodation, inspect facilities at kitchens that will provide food for Nigerian pilgrims, as well as participate in e-track training organized by Saudi authority. NAHCON Commissioner of Policy, Personnel Management and Finance, Alhaji Nura Hassan Yakasai, is leading the Nigerian delegation for the second phase of the pre-Hajj visit. During the visit, the delegation met with the management of the establishment of Mutawif for pilgrims of African non-Arab countries known as Muassasa. Discussions at the meeting focused on the agreements reached with service providers in order to ensure that pilgrims get value for their money. Still on 2023 Hajj preparations, Ogun State Pilgrims Welfare Board has commenced medical screening for its intending pilgrims across the state. While addressing the intending pilgrims at the Secretariat of the board in Abeokuta, Executive Secretary of the board, Alhaji Salau Dauda, says the idea is to ascertain their health status in order to prescribe appropriate medical treatment they may need before embarking on the pilgrimage. He noted that the medical test is compulsory for all intending pilgrims, saying any pilgrim who refuses to take part in the exercise will not be registered for Hajj. More states and the FCT are expected to carry out similar medical exercises for their pilgrims. In other news, Kaduna State Government has called on Christians going for pilgrimage to Jerusalem from the state to pray for peace, unity and development in Nigeria. The Executive Secretary of the State Pilgrims Agency, Dr. Yusuf Yaqub, stated this while addressing intending Christian pilgrims in Kaduna before departing to Abuja en route to Jerusalem.
So please, I wish that you go and pray for this country so that we can have development and progress. The governor said I should extend his goodwill message to you.
The intending pilgrims thanked God for witnessing the day, saying they will commit Nigeria in their prayers.
We will ensure that we pray for peace, unity, and stability of our country, particularly Kaduna State.
It's so exciting. I'm so happy that I'm part of this program.
The Kaduna State Pilgrims Welfare Agency supervises both Muslim and Christian pilgrimages.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
Alhamdulillah, if you're just tuning in, the program is As You Answer the Call, sponsored by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, to keep you informed about the activities of the Commission and other Hajj-related matters. Critical to the well-being of every Nigerian pilgrim is the provision of quality medical services during Hajj exercise, and NAHCON is leaving nothing to chance to achieve this goal. The constitution of the National Medical Team is the most important component of the outing tonight. We shall be telling you in our Spotlight segment how this is done. Don't go away.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم لبيك.
It is with the vision of moving towards what is considered global best medical practice and adhering to the guidelines laid out by the Saudi Ministry of Health that the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, started the full implementation of the concept of National Medical Team. Other objectives of NAHCON on the National Medical Team are to have a resilient, cost-effective and responsive medical team to meet the health needs of all pilgrims in line with international best practices, as well as achieving NAHCON's noble objective of improved coordination and harmonization of all Hajj-related medical services for the benefit of intending pilgrims. And so, as preparations for the 2023 Hajj gathers momentum, NAHCON has commenced work towards constituting the National Medical Team. So, on Tuesday, the 14th of March 2023, NAHCON Commissioner of Operations Alhaji Abdullahi Magaji Hardawa inaugurated the 2023 Hajj Medical Screening Committee.
Medical services during Hajj operation is very important to all Hajj operators and the pilgrims alike.
NAHCON Commissioner of Planning, Research, Information, Statistics and Library Services, Sheikh Suleiman Momo, chairs the committee. It has the following terms of reference: to screen and select applicants for 2023 Hajj services, organize orientation program for the National Medical Team, and to ensure the registration of medical supplies permit on the e-track system.
We will throw open the portal for Nigerians to apply to be part of the medical team for our 2023, inshallah. We hope that we all watch out for that, because from those who will be applying, as the chairman has advised, we will pull the best and most capable hands to provide services for Nigeria pilgrims.
Pharmacist Zainab Ujudud Sharif is the commissioner representing the Federal Ministry of Health at NAHCON and also the coordinator of the National Medical Team. She explains more.
So with the inauguration of this committee and the specific mandates or terms of reference, we are good to go. And you know, amongst the terms of reference, we need to look at the professionals that should be able to serve in the medical team. That has been the tradition. And I'm sure very soon the portal will be open for applicants to apply, following the requirements which has been stipulated. If you are qualified for the requirements and you are lucky, and Allah calls you, because we believe that going to Hajj, Allah will call you to serve in this team. You'll be able to be qualified that. And then having known the qualified members of the team, we are now to expose them to certain kind of prerequisites to ensure they know what their duties are.
Still on the mandate of the committee, the coordinator has this to say.
You can see in the team, even the other components, the aspect of the air air carriers, the operations department, the legal department. It's not just only the team being made of purely professionals or medical professionals. We also had even the accounts aspect to ensure that we are able to procure medicines early enough is well represented. So these are part of the mandates. And we also to identify the clinics. Having gone to pre-Hajj visit in January, which I participated, we're able to look around the accommodation facilities and possibly identify quality accommodation, particularly for the clinics. There are basic requirements that you need to look at in identifying the clinic to ensure that there's enough space. There's also enough, what I would say, lift in case of any emergency. And space, we need a very free-flowing space so that when there's emergency patients and we need very good ventilation, we looked at places that have very big spaces.
Consistent with NAHCON guidelines, the clinics will be set up few days before Nigerian pilgrims start arriving in Saudi Arabia.
Our team, we arrive early to be able to set up these clinics depending on the population. We look at where the states are mostly populated and we set up what we called a health post, okay, whereby the states that have high number of states within an area can have quick access to healthcare. And then we also have the national one that has the big clinic where people can also participate. And I think we should have about 6 or 7 healthcare facilities for this 2023 Hajj. And I'm sure you know that the population of pilgrims will likely double that of last year. So even in the medical team, we look at that area too.
The clinics are licensed to only provide primary healthcare services. This determines the nature of medical personnel to be recruited into the national medical team. All medical personnel will also be required to take part in pre-Hajj workshops in order to prepare them for the task in Saudi Arabia.
We have medical doctors, and in the criteria, you must be a certified medical doctor. You must be registered with your professional body, the Dental and Medical Council. You must have some level of experience, whether you are in a private or public. And at times we look at specialized fields, especially in the area of public health, because we are looking at dealing with public health issues. In case there is any outbreak, we look at setting up what we call the emergency response team. So we do consider professionals that have this expertise to deliver out. And also in terms of aging, we also look at very vibrant professionals. You can have very vibrant doctors. We need energy. You know, everything about Hajj entails a lot of physical exercise.
In addition to this, the Commission is also planning to ensure that environmental officers are always recruited to be part of the national medical team. The idea is to help pilgrims maintain proper sanitary conditions in their apartments while in Saudi Arabia.
You know, before we do have few representatives, there was a time they were only to be brought by the state. But Commission observed that often at times they are not brought in. So the Commission took this bold step last year to ensure that we have some representation from the environmental health assistance to ensure they are able to look at the aspect of environment. And when they are there, in the feeding aspect, they will try to look at this. And they are also to visit all the states to look at the environment there.
Another important assignment of the committee is the upgrading of the electronic medical record system known as EMR, which allows for easy capturing of pilgrims' data.
I'm glad that the electronic medical record, as I know currently, is being upgraded to meet the requirements. Because once we have that in place, the history of a patient is so easy and the waiting time is so easy. Right from when the patient comes to the clinic, being attended to either by the nursing that will take care of all his vital signs, and then going to see the doctor or the consultant and going to collect medicines, whatever it is, if there is need for him to be admitted, to be under observation room. The electronic medical record should be very much alert, ready to fast-track all these activities.
With the clinics running at the primary level, cases such as malaria, ulcer, typhoid, among others, are handled here. To treat these kind of ailments, NAHCON ensures that drugs are supplied in sufficient quantity. Pilgrims with severe cases are taken to secondary or tertiary health facilities run by Saudi authorities.
There is effective collaboration between the medical team and the Ministry of HAJJ or Ministry of Health, whereby procedures are there to transfer the patient to identified hospitals that are already established to do that functions, and that is timely done. I'm sure you are aware that we have ambulances, which is good enough to transfer patients, and there are procedures. The experts are there. You can know that the doctor in charge of medical operations has that responsibility to ensure that these patients that need to go to the hospital for further treatment are done timely and early enough.
As the committee gets down to work, it is determined to also bring in new ideas in order to consolidate on the gains recorded in previous outings. It is also making efforts to address the challenge of pregnant women and aged people participating in Hajj. While cases of pregnancies could lead to miscarriages, with aged persons performing the Hajj, it is difficult for them to cope with the rigors of the exercise without being accompanied.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
MashaAllah. Coming up next is making the Hajj. Tonight, the Chief Imam of Imo State, Imam Suleiman Yusuf Njoku, takes us through discussions on Sa'i as a pillar of Hajj and Umrah. Let's hear him.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك 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 اللهم.
Walking between the hills of Safa and Marwa, otherwise known as Sa'i, is one of the pillars of Hajj and Umrah which pilgrims are expected to perform. When and how should pilgrims perform this rite? How many rounds are they expected to go?
إن الصفا والمروة من شعائر الله.
On making the Hajj tonight, Imam Suleiman Yusuf Njoku answers this and other questions.
Sa'i is an exercise, or a sa'i is one of the arkan al-Hajj. We have 4. An-Niyya, that is the intention. Al-Ihram, that is the clothing, the 2 pieces of clothing, then a tawaf, then a sa'i. After tawaf, you now come to do your sa'i. Sa'i is described in the glorious Quran by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inna safa wal marwata min sha'airillah faman hajja al-bayt aw i'tamara fala junaha alayhi an yatawwafa bihima. That is bihima here in Arabic, that is bihima. Alif is for the Safa and Marwa.
Pilgrims are expected to perform Safa and Marwa after completion the Tawaf, and they begin with Safa and end in Marwa. The count goes thus.
First of all, you start from the Safa. You come to Marwa, right? That is 1. From Marwa, you go to Safa. That is 2. From Safa, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You come back to, that is where you end it, right? Since you are starting from Safa, that means you come back and end it Marwa.
What supplications are recommended for pilgrims during the Sa'i?
There are different opinions. It depends. You are near your intention and the prayer that you have to you choose. Like in the when we are doing tawaf, what the dua when we are doing tawaf is Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. If you can still use it in that Safa, because it is a very good prayer. That is how the Prophet did it when he did the Hajj, Hajjatul Wada'. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana. You continuously, that is the supplication. You can still have another one. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Wala is the remembrance of Allah, to praise Allah. That is the most important thing at that particular time.
Placed at the valley of Safa and Marwa is the green fluorescent lights. It is recommended for men to jog at a moderate speed between these lights. However, women are to walk at their normal pace. Imam Njoku said some Islamic scholars are of the view that missing the Sa'i doesn't vitiate the Hajj and or Umrah pointing out that it can be redeemed.
It could be redeemed according to some scholars. Because some scholars say if you didn't do it or you didn't do it well, there's you may slaughter a ram to augment that aspect. Yes, because in Hajj, one of the things that if you miss it, it means you didn't go to Hajj is there, standing on the day of Arafah. Because I know many people, they will even come on, if tomorrow is Arafah, they will come and then join for the Arafah. When they finish, they will now go back and do their tawaf for Ifadah. So you can redeem it by slaughtering ram.
The next thing pilgrims do after completing the walk between Safa and Marwa is to cut their hair or shave it. That is, if they are performing Hajj Tamattu. But if they are performing Hajj Qiran, pilgrims remain in Ihram until the 10th of Zulhijjah to complete the Hajj.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك.
Now it's time to know the winner of last week's quiz and the question for this week. Good luck.
لبيك لبيك اللهم لبيك.
Welcome to the quiz segment. The question in the last episode was, list 3 other names that Tawafful Ifada can be called. The correct answer is Tawafful Ziyara, Tawafful Rukun, and Tawafful Hajj. The winner is Muhammad Noura from Biu, Borno State. He provided the answer ahead of others. Muhammad Noura will be contacted on how NAHCON will reach him with the prize he won. A quiz winner will get 25,000 Naira cash prize. This is part of NAHCON's effort in social investment in Nigeria. Now to the quiz for this week. And the question is, where do pilgrims begin the Sa'iyah and where do they end it? Again, where do pilgrims begin the Sa'iyah and where do they end it? Text your answer to the number showing on your screen. The winner will be the first person whose correct answer is received. All answers should carry the name and location of sender. Good luck and happy viewing.
Once again, good luck to you. Up next are your messages.
Musa Yahya from Kaduna State sent in the first message. It reads, Assalamu alaikum. I am elated to inform you that I have received my quiz prize. May Allah bless NAHCON and its officials. The second message came from Saminu Falalu. It is also on appreciation to NAHCON on quiz prize. It says, Alhamdulillah, I have received the 25,000 quiz prize with great joy. May Allah continue to guide NAHCON and its staff. Thank you.
This is where we draw the curtain on today's program. See you same time, same day next week with another edition of the program. But before we go, remember that you can send your messages, comments, observations and questions through our mobile phone number and other social media platforms. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا